Peace world, what's good? It's Wyking live, Africatown Media Studios at the Black Dot Underground. And we're here today with a very special guest. Our guest is always very special, you know. Solutions architect and co-founder of Axum Analytics and founder of Kid Elite Robotics Academy. My good brother, Rashaad Fontenont, man. Welcome, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this tech. You know, we've been talking about some of these statistics that have been coming out, you know, regarding, you know, the gap in the income and the automation taking out jobs for black men. And, you know, we see that, but we know there's opportunity, so we're gonna get into that. But before we get into that, you know, let the people know. Talk to the world. You know, let them know who you. For those who don't know, let them know a little bit about yourself and your journey to this point.
All right. Well, I'm Rashad, born and raised here in Seattle, true Seattle-like, like not just CD. Born in Providence, grew up in CD, moved to the U District.
Yes, sir.
Lived there for a while, then moved to South End on 39th and Holly. So I am from Seattle, true and true. Moved. Let me see. Went to Garfield graduate, Bulldogs, 1998.
Yeah.
Just a straight nerd.
I hear that.
It's a straight nerd.
Yeah. And so now, you know, technologists, you know, really mastering this space. Tell us a little bit about that and just kind of your path to you know, being a co-founder of a technology company and also creating programming and to engage young people and expose them. Like, were you always on tech or?
Oh yeah, it's great. Well, I've had a computer in my house since 1986.
Okay.
Like my dad, my shout out to my dad. He's really is my tech. You know, he worked at he was into like he's soldering circuit boards and stuff as a young man. So he had a Commodore 128 in 1986 because he was working at Boeing, and I guess they told him that in the future, this thing is going to take over the jobs. And he was a engineer or a electrician. My grandfather was an electrician, then my dad. So I've just had a computer since then. I've had that one. I moved. Let me see. I bought my first computer in high school at Garfield. Bought my first Mac.
So was that your path when you were in school? Like, I'm gonna be a software engineer off top. I mean, you a big brother.
I
push you to the.
No, I was gonna hoop. Yeah, I was gonna hoop. You know, I was 98. So
hoop dreams, huh?
Of course we had those. Garfield, you're in the hoop house. You're there, and then I'm the year where like Kevin Garnett came out of high school, Kobe came out. So I'm going out of going out of high school. So that was
have a hoop dream.
Yeah, of course.
I won state that year, right?
Yeah, 98. Shout out to that one state.
You had the headers off that.
Let me see. You had your Jerry Petty's, Marcus Mosby's, Javon Nickens, Clayton Smith. You know, these are the Roy Dale Smiley, the great Ed Roy, the big brother to Brandon Roy. Yeah. That was a great squad that I set out that year. I had to work. You know, that's that whole help your family out thing. Yeah. So you had the sports thing going, and were you on the computers then? Did you do computer science at Garfield? No, I didn't know we had a program. I didn't know. So what happened was my dad, last time I got suspended from school was my sophomore year. And anytime I got suspended, my dad would make me go to work with him. 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the hard shifts, crawl spaces, in just dirt. And I told him the lie. It was 2 weeks suspension. And I told my dad, I said, hey, I love you, I promise you, this is the last time I'm pulling wire. I'm going to get a computer job. I'm going to work because I was taking this computer program. And shout out, I just kind of did research for this. In my freshman year of high school, this history teacher, this black history teacher, he was old man. He kept the room really hot and he talked slow. So everybody fell asleep. Right. But I was walking out of class. He gave me a paper and he said, "You might be interested." It was going to this computer class. And shout out to LaVersa Sullivan, the Institute of Electronic Design. And my goodness, and I shout out to LaVersa Sullivan. Yes. Like that's the people who know her that's who got me introduced to computer. Like really knowing what you can do. She took me to Microsoft my first time at 15 years old. Wow. They had I shook Bill Gates' hand. Like, so that that introduced, again, that's real LaVersa Sullivan. And so that gave me I was on the internet in 94. When you can get on the internet as a public, I was there. Okay. So that was really like, I saw what you can do with computers, and that was where I told my dad, yeah, I'm not going to be a lecturer. I'm going to get a computer job, and that was a wrap from there.
So was that your path out of high school? Did you go to college for that?
No.
What happened next?
So yeah, I went for early childhood. I was working at the Boys and Girls Club. Went for early childhood education. Was trying to do it out of high school, doing what other kids doing. Got caught up in some, whatever, caught a case. Had that on my record. Okay. So really, no, that really was just kind of in the abyss. Didn't know what to do. Went to ITT Tech for a little bit and learned how to build a computer. Okay. So built my first computer. Really got access to the internet. Not to the building websites. I got the internet computer. Had a friend, shout out Jeff Smith, gave me, the Adobe Master Suite, the burn copy. So I had Dreamweaver, Photoshop, and I used to just kind of mess with that.
You was in the game.
Yeah, I was in the game. Yeah. Bought a domain, I want to buy bigshot.com.
So where was this at? What time?
This is, I'm 22. Okay. So I got a case, my charge in 21. I'm bouncing, I'm literally bouncing right now. Right. In downtown Seattle.
Bouncing, you mean you the guy at the club?
I was the guy at the club at the front door. Correct. Telling Rashard Lewis, trying to get, I ain't gonna put you in, but trying to get people shouldn't come in the club, and all these people. You can't do this, all these things. So I'm that guy. Yeah. The one you're a bouncer, that guy that everybody told, you're just nothing but a bouncer. Right. So that's what I build computers. And I'm like, why don't I just go build computers? But either way, I bought my first domain was bigshot.com. Okay. So I'm like, I got a domain, I'll be on the internet. But I didn't know what hosting was. Right. I didn't know all these things. So Jeff Smith kind of guided me. This is how you got to do. Now that you bought the domain, you buy hosting, learning servers, and just kind of.
Okay. So then was that your career path? Did you end up in the tech workforce? Or how did that go? Was it bouncing?
And so bouncing and selling real estate. Okay. Moved to Dallas, Texas. Okay. And worked for, look for work, and found this company, D Cables. And D Cables, I call, and shout out David Peters, my mentor, I worked for D Cables, and it was a small e-commerce company that sold USB cables to digital cameras. Okay. And I got hired doing the shipping labels, so just shipping the packages. That was my job. Right. Shipping the packages. Making shipping labels. Then went from learning to make HTML, making the web pages. So I learned a little HTML. Did that for a while, from making the web pages to doing the affiliate marketing. Basically, I just did doing the SEO, doing the Google ads. I built the Amazon, a $2 million Amazon business, because Amazon had it where you can start selling their products. I did all. So I just really learned how to run a e-commerce business from the president himself. Okay. And he just taught me so much. That was literally my college. Is at D Cables
on the job
because I started going to University of Phoenix. I wanted to go to school. I was going for e-commerce, right? And he looked at me. He was like, "Well, why are you going for e-commerce?" I'm like, "Cause I'm trying to get 6 figures on." And he was like, "Well, after you get the degree, what are you gonna do?" Right. Well, I said, "I'm gonna go get a job." He's like, "Well, you already work for an e-commerce company." Right. He said, and he straight up, he said, "Well, if you get this degree, do you think I'm gonna pay you more money?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And he was like, "Well, why? Why do you think I'm gonna get you more money?" "Well, I have a degree." He's like, "That's not valuable to me." So
what can you do?
What can you do? Right. So we sat in this office. He broke down. He's like, "All right, well, first of all, do you know what the present value of money is and future value of money?" "Well, no." "Okay, well, you're paying this much for school. How much you're gonna pay for school? Boom, boom, boom. How much is interest? How much is interest gonna be? How much? Basically, if you get a degree, this degree now, you're gonna be paying all this for." This and all, money, value of money goes down over time. He gave me the whole
to make an informed choice.
Correct. So that day I stopped going to school, because he was like, if you're going to dedicate 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week to school, how about you put it in to this company? And I'll pay you for it. If you can make me more money, I will pay you more money.
I think that's the bottom line.
Oh.
Yeah.
So just that's just working at DK was really what enhanced my career. It's really where I learned just so much. Accountability, all these lessons that he taught me, a white Republican. Like, I was there. I tell people, during Obama's administration, I was in Texas as a black Republican. Wow. Like, I didn't, because that's how much influence this guy had on me. But I just learned so many lessons.
Okay. So then, where did it go from there? Did that,
All right. Well,
You came back to Seattle?
Came back to Seattle.
Okay.
So I left there. It was just so sad. I loved Dallas. I loved everything about that. I had got married in Dallas, had my children in Dallas. I loved Dallas, but at the time I was married, happy wife, happy life. So we came to Seattle. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah. So we came to Seattle, and I worked for a large charity. So I knew how to I learned how to build an e-commerce business. I could make money. I learned how to do Google ads, so I learned how to make money selling on ads on Google. I know how to build an Amazon business. I came to this charity, and they said they know how to make money on Facebook. Facebook was, was out, but now they had monetized ads, and they were saying that these guys we can make $1 million a month on Facebook. I said, man, no, you can't, because everything I read said that nobody's making money on Facebook. Right. But I told them that I'm able to get likes for under 10 cents. Okay. Because they're spending 25 cents a like. Right. It worked out for it. I showed them I got hired. So I was showing them how to get likes for under 10 cents. They showed me how they made money. I automated their systems. I automated myself out of job. Wow. Because
man, that's it.
Yeah,
that's something we need to talk about. Right that's one of the things we want to talk about is that. And I think this will tie back to your story as well. Like these recent statistics that have come out about. The income gap in Seattle, for a black family, they're saying, $42,000 for, whites, $105,000. And we have to look at the tech economy as being a part of that, and the fact that we're not, we're not participating, much in that space significantly. So, and then there was this report that said automation is going to be taking jobs. Clearly, everyone knows that, but the hardest hit population is going to be black men. So what you like living example of that. And then how did you respond? Because you leveled up, right?
Yeah. So that's what. So here it is. So as far as that, so the income thing, it's amazing. In King County, what the median income is $93,000, which. That's a lot of money. They show that, but they say what white median income is, was it 100?
In Seattle, it was 105,000.
105 blacks.
County might be a little.
Blacks were, and so we'll talk about Seattle, and then the blacks were 42 or 43.
40, exactly.
But people don't realize. So in that, there was a blurb that said the top 5%. So the median, more than half people make this, but the top 5% make 600,000. Wow. The bottom 5%, which is the blacks, make 43,000. Yeah. So we can see the median, whatever, but looking at the whole pie, the top and the bottom, that's the concerning part. Wow. It sounds good. Oh, well, whites make 100 and we make 4. No,
that don't sound good at all.
That don't sound. Yeah.
When you're trying to bid on a house, if you got half the money, less than half, that does not sound good.
Man, so that's what people don't realize. It's that 600 and that 40. Yeah. That's the
spread.
That's the spread.
So how do you think, we understand the problem, we see the problems, and I don't want to, beat people down in the head. We really want to just say, man, this is reality check when we're thinking about not just ourselves. We might need to pivot. You might need to pivot in your situation, right? Which you can speak to, right? But even our children, where are we putting them in the economy? What do you think the opportunities are? How can we, survive it, and then thrive? How can we survive to thrive?
The first thing, and I shout out to you. You had this quote years ago that sticks with me: is we have to use new technology to solve old problems. That's it's true to my heart. You have to use. So we have to upgrade our skills. Okay. People don't realize the code language Python was built to teach children how to code. That's how simple Python is. Once I got that concept, I watch, like anything else, I started watching YouTube videos on history. I know the history of Michael Jordan, history of NBA, history. I said, well, what's the history of
Shift
coding?
That attention.
Yeah. What's the history of Python? Right. What's the history of Linux?
Right.
What's the, all these? What's the history of the operating system? Right. Oh, but once you start, the Python was literally created to teach children how to code. But Python is because it's that simple, it's one of the most versatile and popular and strongest languages to pick up. Once you kind of understand that, you're like, oh, because the computer literally only understands yes or no, binary, if this, then that. That's it. Once you understand that, it's cool. But the thing is, we have to start upgrading our skills.
Right.
And we get out that mindset that I have to go to school, I have to do it. We're in an age now where YouTube, you can in one day on YouTube, a weekend on YouTube, on a Sunday, instead of watching NFL for 12 hours, just watch a subject on something on YouTube, and you'll be amazed on that 12 hours what you learn.
What you learn in 12 hours.
So it's really starting, and you said, Tess, I went to a coding boot camp. I tell people, there was a company I got laid off. Got laid off for a company. They sold out. They sold the company. We all got let go. That day I was happy because I already had a plan. Boom, cool. Because I coding boot camp.
Right.
I already knew, okay, as soon as we go, we kind of knew we were going to go. So they laid us off. I said, hey, can you just give me a paper? So let me know I went down, got food stamps, unemployment. That's what I had to do.
Right.
Went to the coding boot camp. 3 months later, I literally doubled my income.
Wow.
Literally.
Wait. We don't want to just brush over it. The size of your bag just doubled in 3 months. 3 months.
In 3 months, literally on everything I love, I literally doubled my income. Wow. In 3 months.
Okay.
And that's what. It was 3 months of sacrifice. Shout out to my ex-wife who. Our stuff where she had to hold the bag for some things. I ain't got it. Right. I can't do this. Right. Kids, we can't do that. But I'm okay with saying that because, no, you can't sign up for this. No, we can't because I don't have it.
Right.
But now I double my bag. We got it. Right. You need private?
What did it take? Like, you said a coding boot camp. For people that don't know what that is, what is a coding boot camp?
So coding boot camp, so I went to the coding dojo, and the coding boot, it literally is a boot camp. It literally is 12 to 15 hours of you coding. Here's a problem, you have to solve it with code. Come up with a digital solution. It really is
and they're teaching you though.
They're teaching you.
You're doing it. It's almost like on the job training.
That's what it literally is. Worker retraining. They're worker retraining. They teach you basically. You have to be able to set the time aside. The first thing is you have to have that 12 to 15 hours. So they're teaching you make the time.
Right.
That's the first thing. Either you make the time.
Yes. Sacrifice.
You have to sacrifice. So you're paying them to teach you to sacrifice. And you're basically, here's the problem, and they teach you how to go find how to teach yourself.
So I just want to, pull back, and so you had the hoop dream. Mm-hmm. You was coming out, you was going lottery, right.
Without the work ethic, but
you didn't have, you could do it then. You didn't have to do one and done.
Correct.
And from there, it sounded like you might have had a street dream for a minute.
I saw opportunity, and it's never easy.
Getting caught in that situation and went through the law and all of that legal, you got that stain on you.
Correct. Yes, correct.
But despite that stain, are we talking about, when they say slavery was abolished, except for if you have, a felony,
correct.
Right? And so we know how that you worked with black men. So anyways, but from that position, you still were able to get on, you got into the industry, and then even the industry that you were in, where you were working, they sold the company.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have a job, right?
That's what happens.
You're not the final determinant, but then you was able to recover from that and double your income by going to a program for 3 months. Now, was that a free program? Was that, through unemployment, or how did that,
I
know some people's out there like, hey,
how do you do it? So what happened was, what made me that program, I read an article that said big tech companies were hiring coding boot camp graduates at the same rate as college graduates.
Right.
And it really, and so there you have an option. I just took a loan out, and I had, and this is being honest, I had the jug. I had to really, right. Do what I had to do to be able to put that together to go. Right. So people were, you got all these people making, hitting, look, doing whatever, putting something that can't be taken away.
Right.
Right. And that's kind of really just had to go into a place, whatever, but I made it happen. And I paid it. It was like $12,000.
Right.
Got the money, went and paid for the school.
Yeah, and I know they do. Shout out to Coding Dojo. We've worked with them in the past. They've done coding camps with our youth. They've given out some scholarships.
Yep,
I know some of these other coding programs. Shout out to Michael Choi and Richard Wang over there.
Michael Choi, shout out.
Yeah,
but to say that, you don't have to go there. Really, AWS.training. Mm-hmm. Go to Amazon Web Service. We can get to AWS. Go to AWS training, Amazon, and that's why I look at why Jeff Bezos isn't trying to do it. He literally gives the people free training. Wow. He's literally telling you, if you go to our training, you can get training, and as you take these classes, get these certifications, you're in their system. They start reaching out to you for jobs. So it's literally free training.
Wow. Okay. So you don't even
you don't have to go.
There's many different paths.
You're only paying for
into this.
You're only paying for the dojo because they put a deadline. They put the gun behind your head.
Right.
That's all you're paying for is that pressure. Other than that,
they're pushing you and they're kind of putting you in the environment to get you.
That's
it's like you said, boot camp, training camp.
That's all it is. I can go and work out and do all that and get ready for whatever, but they just
they give you a system.
The system. That's it.
And the discipline. That's positive. So, kind of shifting from that's a pathway. One of the things we've been working on with Africatown is really like building this, looking at the city. We don't want to just be a historic district and they be like, oh, Jimi Hendrix was here and that, but none of us are here because the economics aren't right. So what if we make this innovation district, cultural innovation? We always been hustlers. We always been innovators, entrepreneurs, creators, and connecting that spirit to the pathways that's around us. You came to the convening that we did about a year ago down at City Hall, and working on just repurposing, let's say, the Fire Station 6 as a place where people can connect around this knot. What are your thoughts about that as a way forward? To really like bring this heavily into our community.
Well, it's needed, but we have to show it's needed because we have the Rotors, we have these I guess we have to have some successes out of there for it to really because the reason why Rotary is successful because they've put some people in the league.
Right.
So that's the dream.
Right.
So it works, but as long as we get some successes, some early wins where it's like, oh, we invested here and this guy went on and started a company, he made $1 million, he did this. Oh. Then they start seeing, but it's a great, and I love it. We have to do it. It is needed, but we just have to, I think, for it to people to see, we have to have those wins.
How do you think we can get there? Like, we were talking earlier, we were talking about, Rotary and opportunities that already exist in the community.
Oh, yeah.
How can we leverage where we're at to get to the next position? I know you have some programs around that too. And I'd like to hear about what you recently established, talk to the people about that. And even the company, because now you're not only working, you're like at the end of our ecosystem, because the ecosystem starts like, let's say pre-K, but at the end a person is, in the workforce and then entrepreneur. So you're really embodying, the type of what we want to see happen. What do you think? How do we accelerate that process of getting this, broadly in our community?
Well, the one thing is just we have to do stuff that we're already doing. Like we're heavily in sports.
Right.
We're overcompensating in sports. One thing is, we just mentioned Rotary. If we take Rotary, we have Amazon, Microsoft in our backyard. Amazon has the best cloud system worldwide. Hey, Amazon, can you give us free cloud space? We'll go to Microsoft. Hey, can you give us free Surface Pros, laptops? So now we have free laptops, free cloud. Now let's put bands. We got all these smart things. Light up the kids with stuff, light up the gym with cameras and everything, and let's start teaching them data science. Let's start, you like doing push, you like hitting jumpers, you like doing all this. Well, here's how many you made, here's how many you missed. Start analyzing data. How do you find your efficiencies? How do you get, the inefficiencies? How do you do these things? It's literally integrating when they're like, oh, well, you see, because they all the big athletes are trained. So I can see, hey, well, LeBron James or these athletes to get to this level, this is how efficient, this is what they did. Here's the algorithm. You do it. How are you? And we can start building that when they start seeing the patterns.
Integrating it into what we already have, especially what we're great at.
What we're already great at.
We can put great technologists out the same way we're putting out great NBA or athletes. There's probably more room in the tech space than there is in the NBA, right?
It's that the tech, there's so many lanes.
Right.
Like, we always think there's hoop, but then, you may not make it. You might go to physical educate. There's all these backends. You might be a sports attorney. There's all these things. Same thing with tech. You don't have to be a coder, project manager, bugs, but we have to use something that our kids are already excited about.
Right.
They're excited. They want a hoop. They can tell you everything about basketball. Okay, well, what about your stats?
Right.
We can track that. Let's make a little database. And everything you wear, your phone, it tracks your steps, it tracks your whatever. Put that in the data. You can see, well, how much, because one thing I learned about, and David Peters taught me about successful rich people, is they quantify everything.
Measure.
They measure.
I read this book, it said, what gets monitored gets managed.
And I would love to know, I would love to know what the book that is, but that really is true. He used to always ask me, well, how many hours of TV do you watch, Rashaad? Oh, well, I used to watch, go home. When you get off, you get off work at 5 o'clock. You don't go to 10. That's 5 hours of TV. That's 25 hours of TV a week. That's 25 hours of TV a week. So if you look at 25 hours of TV a week versus what your income is, you can start correlating that. Okay, if you decrease this time, you can increase this. They start measuring everything.
Yeah, that's good. And so you said data science. That sounds like one of the low-hanging fruit. What are some of the other, low-hanging opportunities that a person, we should maybe be focused on? Like if I'm looking for an angle in, maybe a good first step that I know I can monetize that skill while I figure other things out.
Well, everything like here it is. I'm working with a kid. Shout out Manny. He just released a little video on YouTube, and I was like, all right. And I asked him, well, Manny, what's the cost to get your video on WorldStar? Oh, I don't. Well, give me the cost, but let me know what's the average. If I pay, he told me it's $1,500. All right, but how many clicks do they get? And if you can tell me how many clicks, we can start working. And he goes, oh. Yeah, if I put if I pay $1,500 to get my video on WorldStar, because everybody's rappers now, we can monetize this. It's going to get me an average of 10,000 clicks. If I turn the ads on my YouTube page, out of that 10,000 hits, out of that 10,000 views, I might be able to convert 1,000 of those to clickable traffic and monetize that 1,000 and make my money back. Oh, so it's starting with stuff these kids are already doing.
Yeah, that's good. And man, our time, we got a lot more, so you got to come back.
We can go play.
You got to come back. There's a couple things I do want to, just get, just for the people, just to leave them with some tools. What are 3 books that have maybe put some light on your path or help you, you move around? The one, and I don't have 3 because I read a lot of tech docs, but the one that really I read recently was the 48 Laws of Power. I know it's cliche, but the 48 Laws of Power really helped me kind of figure out how to work in corporate. Okay. So just because, just to let you know who do you have to be at a certain time. Yes. And in real time, who are some of your, inspirations or models that you may look to, in terms of what you?
Great question. I am fortunate enough to have, and here it is. It's my local heroes. I'll call it the Kun, Keek. It's local. I'm fortunate enough to have a sphere that I can tap into. I can call. I don't look into the Gary V's, the 19 Key, these people online because I don't know. That could be a representative. It's my local. Right. My local people watching you secure buildings around the city is inspirational. Have you ever seen Big O's passport? Yeah. Like, have you ever seen his passport book?
It's crazy. I be trying to get Big O to let me hold some frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
Let me just hold, 100,000 or something.
That's what I'm saying. If that's not the most inspirational thing is looking at Omari's passport book, I don't know what is. Yeah. Like he and here's short. So he humble bragged on me one time and told me I was looking at. Well, they don't even give you the extended books anymore because it's something like 40 pages. Right. It's beautiful, and then what Keek and Kun, the businesses that really is inspirational.
Serial entrepreneurs in our own right here.
So I don't have to look further than what I have right here.
What podcast, video, anybody that you do follow online, blogs or anything like that for good information?
Right now, it's funny, podcast, I'm listening to the 1619. That's just opened up a whole, that New York Times, that's blowing my mind.
Yeah, pay us like you owe us.
Man. But then anything else, again, I'm just really a nerd. I really listen, watch anything AWS, anything tech.
So you're saying we need to be focused on AWS.
Amazon Web Services, it's Amazon's other business. It's Netflix is built on it, Uber's built on it, Lyft. All these billion-dollar companies build their business on Amazon Web Services.
NBA, NFL, AWS.
You see it. Right.
We need to be shifting some attention over there.
Yes, and they give you free. And the AWS first year is free. You can build anything you want. They give you the first year all free.
How can people get in touch with you?
You can find me online. You go for axumanalytics.com. You got Axum Analytics. You have Rashaad Fontenont on Instagram, and then KidEliteRobotics.com.
All right, cool. And real quick, what is Axum Analytics and what is Kid Elite Robotics? So people can know.
Axum Analytics is a data analytics company that focuses on small and medium-sized companies to help them. Help them gather, organize, and display and sell their data in a way that makes sense and makes money. Kid Elite Robotics is a robotics program that I started for kids that it teaches competition robotics. We're going to have a drone academy to teach drone racing and a code academy.
There you go. All right, y'all. Man, it's rich. We're gonna have the brother back so we can talk tech, get into the bag in different ways. But that's it for today. It's been a great episode. And remember, tap in, don't tap out. Peace.